Hi everybody, this is the tutorial for I'm the Problem. My name's Billy from Piano and Pies. Let's get stuck straight in. To play this song the easiest, we need a capo on the first fret. If you're in need of a capo, there is a link to one in the description below, so check that out. However, let's jump straight in. Now, we're going to play a nice easy version of this, which focuses just on strumming the chords rather than doing the finger picking. And the start of the song, we have just a couple of chords. The first one is E minor, which, in reference to the capo, is an open E string. 2, 2 on the A and D strings, and then 0 on the remaining strings. The other chord that we need for the introduction is what we call a C major 7, which is a 3 on the A string, 2 on the D, and then 0 on the remaining strings. If you know C major, you can play that one as well, but to play just like the track, just basically don't use that finger. And you got yourself a C major 7, which doesn't include this E string here. We missed that one out. Now, what happens is we have 2 lots of E minor and 2 lots of C major 7, and there's like a nice little melody that you saw me play during the introduction of the video that connects the 2 chords. Now, what we have is this. So you could say I had the E minor chord and the C major 7, but we had this melody that connected them, and the melody is an open E string, then 2 on the E string, 3 on the E string, then we had fret 2 on the A string, if I can remember the string names, and then it goes into the C major 7. But what I'm doing, as I'm playing those notes, I'm kind of just loosely playing the strings above it. So I'm always striking that note and then just a few strums of the open strings around it. And then I'm straight into that C major 7. Now in terms of strumming, because we're doing a nice strumming pattern for it, rather than the exact finger picking, the way I think works really, really well with it, and which you can kind of hear later on in the track, is this idea. Now, for the most part, I'm playing down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. However, you can put in lots of different variants of it, and it might be a good idea for you to try and explore some different ideas on top of this. But if you have this as a bass rhythm, that would work really well. And what we do is we start off with that E minor. 1, 2, 3. Now this is where we start that run up, so on the third time round. 1, 2, 3, then C, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 4 lots of that strumming pattern on the C chord, and you've got it twice technically on the E minor, but on the third is when you have that run up. Now that is the introduction, and the good news is most of the song just follows that pattern. In fact, looking over to my notes, when the vocal part comes in, we do the exact same thing 2 more times. We then get to a chorus, which does the exact same thing 2 more times. So yeah, basically just repeating these parts. However, we then get a post-chorus where things do change. And it's worth mentioning that if you would like the chord chart for this, which has all of the chords with the full structure of the song as well, and as well as a sheet of the chords and lyrics matched up. Let's say you want to sing along or play along, and you want to know exactly which chord goes with which lyric, then head on over to Patreon, I've got you covered, and you can get everything wrote out professionally for the price of a coffee, and you get access to not only this song, but well over, it must be about 470 other songs of the latest releases, including a bunch of Morgan's songs as well. But to get to that post-chorus, what we have is an A minor chord, which is a new chord. We have an open A string, 2, 2 on the D and G, 1 on the B, and an open E. We don't play the low E string. And what happens is we go from A minor to C major, which we're going to have not as a C major 7, but as a normal C major, which is basically that C major 7 with your pointy finger on fret 1 of the B string. And then we have this lovely D sus shape where you take that C major chord and slide it up 1, 2 frets. So that post-chorus goes like this. It's a very commonly used chord, especially in kind of country, folk music, especially anything on the acoustic guitar. Now at that point, afterwards, we get a second verse, and that goes back to the original chords that we saw earlier, E minor and then the C major 7 with that pattern in between. We play through those twice, and then we get a pre-chorus. Now the pre-chorus is the A minor chord to C, and then the D sus shape. So we saw those chords earlier as a post-chorus, now we see it as a pre-chorus. Basically, if you have the sheet from Patreon, this will all be very clear, you can just follow it along. We then have a chorus, thankfully, normal chorus, no difference there. We then have the post-chorus, that A minor C D, so we're going to skip over that part. However, we then get to a bridge, where things do change a little bit. We have E minor to C, so acts a bit like a verse, but then we get A minor to C, A minor, C to D. So yeah, that bridge is just that little bit different, so yeah, maybe consider getting that extra material over on Patreon. We then get a post-chorus, which is the A minor C D, and then we get an outro, which is the same as the main chords we see in the verse, the E minor, then the melody, and then the C major 7. And that will get you to the end of the song. So if you did find this video useful, please do like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Also, please consider getting that extra material over on Patreon. And in fact, the people on the screen who are my active patrons will get that content straight away. So thanks to them for their support. Thanks to you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.